Good evening. Welcome to another edition of In and Around Austin. I am Prabha John. Fred Hudson is off tonight. In today's show, we will present to you how to cook an Indian dish, Mutton Biriyani. Your chef today is Prabha John. Prabha is a very accomplished cook. She is from Kerala, India, and can cook a variety of Indian dishes that taste very, very good. She lives in Austin since 1995, along with her husband Thomas John and children.
Today we are going to make mutton biryani. Biryani is a grand, festive casserole dish, a cooked meat dish which is made in very spicy sauce. I am going to make the biryani in a South Indian way because in South India we use coconut in variety of dishes. Coconut gives any dish a very rich flavor. I am going to make this dish that you can serve for a family of 4. The ingredients you need: 1½ cups of goat meat, 2 cups of rice. Those are the main ingredients. And then you need a medium onion chopped and some spices, ginger, garlic, yogurt, and enough salt. So I'm going to start it. First, you add oil into a 10-inch pan. With that, you have to add 2 tablespoons of butter. So that gives a good flavor, the butter flavor, and the butter doesn't get burned since you add some oil. And then you add the onion to the oil. I'm also going to add curry leaves, which are used in South Indian cooking a lot. This gives the dish a fresh flavor. You need to let the onion cook until it is brown so that the onion doesn't give a raw taste. And it can be cooked even in a microwave if you would like, but I prefer it this way. This is the regular way of making the biryani. Onion got browned. You can add the spices that I'm going to use. It has 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, and ½ a teaspoon of turmeric. Garam masala is a mixture of, we call it aromatic spices. They are cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, all ground together. So I'm using 1 teaspoon of that. That's a main ingredient for biryani. Let it cook in that oil with the onion few seconds. Then you add 3 cloves of garlic, 1/4 inch of ginger, and I'm also adding 1/4 cup of coconut, which all ground together. add to the mixture. Let it also cook well in that masala. You can see all the water disappearing and it gets dry. That way you can tell the masala is getting cooked. You will see just the oil bubbling instead of water. So that means it is getting cooked. Into the mixture you add a 1/4 cup of yogurt, fresh plain yogurt. The yogurt gives meat a light sour taste. At the same time, it will let the meat cook tender. And you need to add some salt. I'm adding a teaspoon and a half of salt. Now you can see that the mixture is getting cooked. You can see the oil coming out of it. Now you can add the goat meat. The goat meat is being marinated in yogurt, little bit of turmeric and salt, so that that will make the meat tender, and it will take away the game taste of the goat. So you can marinate that in the mixture and leave it in the refrigerator overnight. And when you take it out, clean it very well with several changes of water. And that's what I had here. I added into the mixture. I'm just letting it marinate with the masala that I just made. Now you can add some water. You can add to cover the meat. This takes an hour to cook. The meat has to be tender, so it will take a while. Cover it. Let it cook for an hour. Since it takes an hour, I'm going to let it cook and start on making the rice dish. The rice that we use for biryani is called basmati rice, which is grown in the foothills of Himalayas. This has a very unique smell, and it's a you can see the grain is longer than even a long grain rice. First I'm going to add a little bit, 2 teaspoons of oil and 2 teaspoons of butter in a casserole dish. We always make the biryani with butter, but I add a little bit of oil to it so that it doesn't easily burn the butter. To this you add the ingredients that goes into the garam masala. These are the ingredients that go into the garam masala, which you add as a whole into the rice dish. So that also gives rice a good flavor. So let it simmer a few seconds. Before you make the rice, you have to soak this in water for a few hours and then drain it very well so that you wouldn't have any water in the rice. Now I'm going to add that rice into the butter and let it fry in the butter until it becomes opaque. This happens very fast, so you have to keep stirring it so that you don't burn the rice. The cardamom and cinnamon and cloves gives it a very nice aromatic flavor too. The basmati itself has a nice flavor, nice smell also, but this adds to it. You can see that it's becoming more whiter. That's how you know that it's getting opaque. So it's getting fried in the butter. This is 2 cups of rice, so you need to add 2 3/4 of liquid. So I'm going to add 2 cups of water and 2/3 cups of coconut milk. Coconut and coconut milk are something, if you don't want to use, you don't have to use them. I just do it so that it gives it another rich taste. And that is like a South Indian taste. So it looks like it is getting done. So I'm going to add some water. And this is 2/3 cups of coconut milk. Mix it up and add salt to it. Let all the rice go into the liquid so that they get cooked, and it takes like 20 minutes. Cover it and let it cook for 20 minutes. There are some decorations that you can do for your biryani. So first what we do is cut 1 large onion into very thin pieces, and then you saute that in butter until it becomes like crispy brown. I already browned the onions here. You can take that out, and in the same butter mixture that you can add other ingredients that you can decorate with are raisins and cashews. So I'm going to fry that, and I'm going to add a little bit of coconut to it so that that gives a zesty coconut flavor. I need a little bit of butter in here. I think the onion took a lot of the butter. I'm just going to have a little bit more here. One thing I can show you is that these are raisins. When you cook raisin in the butter, that plumps up. Then you know that it's time to take it out. I'm doing it this way so that you don't have to use more butter in it. You can use the same little bit of butter in here. Keep stirring it so that it doesn't get burnt. See, you can see one already puffed up. See some of them? It turns the color when it gets puffed up. You don't want to get it burned. You just want to get it stirred so that, see, now it is all puffed up. See, they are like plumpy.